Hey, what's up guys, it's your boy Predator. I realized that with the chip shots, I kind of showed you the beginning, the theory of it. But this video is going to be more about the differences in distance. Alright, so right here we're about 9. If you were here at 5, it would be different. And if you were at 12, 13, it'd be way different, right? So this is close enough, about 8 yards right here. If you look at the bottom, it says right 1. Now normally you would think, oh, right 1, I'm going to go to the right. Actually, right 1 at under 8, 9 yards is pretty much right down the middle. So I don't really have to move it. But what you do want to do is hit the exact correct amount of power. And it should roll right in there. It looks a little to the, just adjust tiny bit. Whoop. Nope, too strong. You see how it's a little too strong? So I'm trying to show you the perfect power amount. That power right there would be for 5 yards. I'm trying to find it for 8. You gotta kind of feel it out. Too short. Try to get this perfectly right. A little, where it just was, I need a little bit more than that. Right there, boom.
Perfect shot.
Okay. So that's from the 8-yarder. Now you notice I had to do that repetitively, because you really just gotta get that perfect little power. If you do a little too much, a little too little, you know, you just kind of gotta feel it out. For the 8-yarders. So that is a right 1 from 8 yards. If you'll notice it said right 1, I basically went right directly into the hole. Alright? If it gets to right 2, you really don't have to move it that much. So I'll show you more in the next video. Okay, and finally, now we're getting into the 18, 19, 20 yarders. I'm probably not going to make it. I'm not like God or anything like that. But just to kind of show you the theory behind it. Now, with these longer ones, what I do, you really got to watch. You see here, this is Kyoto or Kyoto. It's not, you see the green? It's not shifting left, 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 or right, right, right. With the longer ones, you really got to read that green. Alright? Because you got to anticipate that, because it's going to roll a little like this, or it's going to roll a little like that, normally. This is an easier hole. That being said, I'm probably still going to miss. So with the longer ones, if you noticed before, I was right here directly at the cup. The longer one, I'm going to go under the cup, like a little bit more. Alright? With the longer ones, like the 18-yarders. And more power.
Perfect shot.
Oh, close.
Perfect approach.
But you kind of see there how it would have rolled right in. Just kind of didn't get lucky on that one. Alright, so kind of depends if you're doing, you got to make little tiny adjustments, but just keep practicing and practicing and practicing. I recommend Goodwill match with no items, and then just kind of mess around. It's Goodwill match. I mean, what are you going to lose? Doesn't really matter. So just kind of showing you the distance there. If it's 5 yards, just do a little tiny bit of power, not too much. If it's 8 yards, do a little bit more power, and then if it's further, drop it down under and do a little extra power. The more distance, the little tiny bit extra power you got to do for all those chip shots. Okay, guys?
Perfect approach.
We're doing the albatross thing in the guild right now, so I gotta get that. You see how I did more power with that? Always with those putts, do extra power. You gotta do the extra power. Okay, guys, hopefully that explains chip shots a little bit better in detail for you. Good luck. Kick some ass. Okay, one final time. This is 2.5 yards, extremely close. I could putt that in, but just so you can see the distance difference. Alright. I could easily put that in. Actually, it's more difficult to chip this, but just to show you the power distance. So if it's 2.5 yards, I have to go under the cup. Okay, the closer I put that arrow to the cup, then the less power I need to do. You gotta be very careful and tricky with this. I gotta do barely above, if not exactly at the flag. That right there, if you look, too much less. Ooh, the video's like, this is going to be tough, but just to show you how little tiny power you need for these close shots. Right about there. Gangsta. I know it takes a lot of practice. You know, I do this all day in one-hole matches and stuff, but hopefully this video really helps you understand the difference in distance. The closer you are, the less power. The further, the more power. Keep practicing, but you gotta admit that was a pretty gangster shot from 30 yards. It's pretty tough. Whoop whoop. All right, good luck, guys. All right, this is gonna be a little 12-yarder. Could putt it, but again, I'm just showing you the video. The further you are, you gotta really make sure you get that power nice and perfect. Even to be honest, the wind actually does, I think, take a little effect. So we got 3 wind. If it was 1, it wouldn't matter. But let's see if we could just power this thing right on in there. Do a tiny bit right. That looks like it's okay power. Not a perfect shot. Booyah! You'll notice I want to like right under the hole. You want to kind of get it right there close to the hole. The further it is, depends on the roll and the pitch and all that stuff. But for those little further shots, you just kind of want to put it right under that hole and then hit a little bit of extra power and then pray to Jesus. But you kind of see exactly where that power was. So it's pretty much the perfect one. On this one, I'm going to miss on purpose. See if we can get a far shot for you guys.
Perfect shot.
Alright, about 17 yards.
Nice on.
I actually prefer flop shots with the further
Perfect
ones.
shot.
I don't really like the chips if you get this far out. So, if we're about 18, then what do we got to do? Extra power. Got to be stronger. So go right 3. Also, if it was really close, right 3 would be like right there. But now the further you get, the wider I gotta go. Right? So it looks like a right 5, but I'm actually doing right 3 because of the distance. We'll see. It's going to be a tough shot. I'm going to adjust a little to the right. Maybe that'll go in if I do the right amount of power. That looks pretty good. Maybe.
Perfect shot.
Oh, close. So the further away you go, the more
Work
distance
hard.
you want to do. Again, I would practice the flop shot on that. I would show you again, but I'm in a match, so they already got their... Okay, on this one, I'm going to show you the difference with the longer distances as opposed to the chip shots. You've seen kind of the chip shots, 3 yards, 5 yards, 8 yards. But you say, hey, what's going on with these 18-yarders? It's really... Ooh, I might hit that tree. But it doesn't matter, I'm just making a video.
Perfect shot.
Kind of purposely trying to get about 18 yards out, if not more. Alright, 30 yards. Yes, this is why I have SW wedge plus 5 yards. I can hit the SW wedge a lot further. Look how far I can do that with the chip shot. It's crazy. 54 yards with chip shot. Yes, I could do chip shot, but it's 30 yards. So what I would say and suggest is you want to do flop shot. Anything above 16, 17 yards, I would just go with a flop shot. You know, like I said, you're not going to make them. There's no real way to make them all. But I wanted to show you the difference with a flop shot right here. One, you know, it's going to bounce a little less. Okay? So it's just going to go boom, boom, like really close to like right there. So we're at right 2, flop shot. Okay, not chip shot, flop. Alright, now it's this angle you need to do the right 2. You don't want to do this angle. You want to do this angle. The further you go, that right 2 goes a little higher. So I'm pushing it more now. Alright, do a little above a flag. That's a little too strong, I believe. Right about there should be alright. Oh! Almost. Right in the
Nice
hole,
approach.
too. Fuck. So, yeah.
For birdie.
Now you do a chip shot, you're close. So the longer ones, you want to kind of practice that little flop shot. Flop shot. Too strong. Maybe a little tiny less. Right about, fuck it. See what happens. Might be.
Perfect shot.
Alright, well hopefully that helps you guys kind of see the differences with the distances. There's a difference between 5 yards, 10 yards, 8 yards, and with those 20 to 30 footers, go ahead and adjust it to a flop shot, and it's pretty much the same principle.